And starting out a business is very exciting. The euphoria, the fulfillment, and the sense of achievement makes us feel so much enthused and wanting to do more. But do you know that when you start a business, you'll have to be the accountant, the marketer, the producer, the HR, and the technical director? And please, you play every role. Sometimes you'll even play the dispatch rider's role, to the extent of having to meet your customers at their various apartments at the point of delivery. And this becomes overwhelming, especially after you started a business. So keeping your book records becomes so much difficult, and even those that are using Excel ends up becoming so much difficult to manage, because now the sense of inputting data becomes a time agency where you could have allotted it for something. So in today's session, we are going to see how you can use Excel plus AI tools with the help of a chartered accountant to make your work much more smoother and easier. I know our guest is a regular feature here, and we are going to transition to him so that he can start giving us an insight on what he thinks or what even inspired him to start this journey of trying to help manage small businesses at a go. So let me quickly transition to my guest here. Welcome, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Mubarick.
Okay, so I'm very much perplexed by people who in the past, when they start business, they started with full of aspirations and the desire to achieve so many goals. And later along the line, they become so overwhelmed with the business rule, and at the end, they can't even manage their finance efficiently. So before we took into the deep dive, what do you think is the biggest mistake you often see small business owners make?
Thank you very much for having me once again. Uh, like you rightly pointed out, when you begin your business, you become the HR, you become the director, you become the accountant, you become the marketer, you become the legal service yourself. You literally do everything on your own. So as a result of that, you become overwhelmed by the roles that you have to play, no matter how small it is. Some of them you even forget to how to be able to handle that, because all of this role you have to play it alone whilst you move along. So at the inception stage of so many businesses, the roles becomes, if not care being taken, becomes too big for one person to handle, even though it is not uh, uh, so called to say is big, but at the inception stage of business, usually it is manageable by a person, the very person that starts the business. It is manageable. But once you move along, it becomes so difficult to be able to handle everything. And that is where it is advisable. You either have to find somebody else to help you in that regard, or you find a way of doing it yourself, such a way that you'll be able to play the role of all that we have said, and at the same time manage your business finances very well and your bookkeeping too very well. So it is not an easy task. It is something that you would have to understand that once you commit yourself into it, it becomes a challenge. And the challenge of you rising over whatever situation you meet, that is what would actually make you come out as a successful business operator.
Wow, so much insightful. I'm already excited by the points that you are raising. But come to think of it, what if, as a small business owner, I just decided to carry notebook alongside wherever I'm going with a pen? So I'll just be taking note of my records. I think maybe notebook carrying might be quite easier for me. Do you think there is some danger attached to this kind of practice?
Well, as I said earlier, once you begin the business, the responsibility in doing everything, it is very small. But once you move along, it becomes very big and challenging. So at the inception stage, you'll be able to carry your notebook to be able to write everything you would want to write. But once you move along and your business is becoming bigger, notebook will not be enough for you, even though still you can use it as a primary document to be documenting one or two stuff. But once you move along, your notebook might not be enough because it will not be able to do some of the calculation on its own unless you do it. And every mistake committed in a notebook will be carried across all your decisions that you take, which is not very good for you. So it is important that notebook can help you, but I have to understand that when you commit a mistake, your mistake will be carried out throughout your work, and which identifying the mistake to rectify it will be sometimes challenging. So notebook can help you, but not always. Once you graduate to some certain level, you would have to find some sort of software or some uh, Excel to be able to help you do things much easier as compared to the notebook, because the notebook will not be enough to uh, uh, give you all that you wanted at the same time.
Wow, wow. So notebook do advantageous when you start out a business, but in the long term wouldn't be sufficient in helping you manage your records. So what do you think are some of the key things that business owners should keep track on, especially on month-to-month basis when they start out a business?
Yes, on man-to-man basis, it's important that the very aim of every business going into any business is to make profit. Nobody will go into a business when he knows that he's not going to make anything from it. So the basic aim of going into every business is to make profit. So your profitability is something that would actually show how you are performing. It becomes your performance measurement, the metrics that you use to understand whether your business is moving on or your business is not doing bad. So at the end of every month, usually businesses and individuals who are into any kind of activity would like to find out whether they are making profit, because it is a profit motive that you go into the business. At the end of the day, if you are not making profit, probably you would have to understand that it's either not worthy, or you would have to change your decision in order to be able to make profit. So not only profit alone, you can make profit, but liquidity is the most important factor you need. Some businesses can make profit, but at the end of the day, there is little cash to be shown. You can make profit, but when you trace the profit is either with people or is in sales, which is not good. Yes, what happens is that at the inception stage of businesses, people will try to go for, let's say, uh, will look for suppliers, and when they get suppliers, and what they do is that they will end up giving a very long debt to their customers. And what happens is that at the end of the day, the suppliers are, if the suppliers have not given you equally long term to pay, you will end up receiving more from your suppliers in the name of giving out to sales, but the actual cash is not in your bank account. It is the liquidity, which is the actual cash, that shows that how your business is performing. Because if you are making profit and there's no cash to show, you have to check what you are doing, because you might be in danger. For all you know, you might be doing something you call over trading, which is not good for your business. And so business owners would have to understand that when you manage your stock well, you manage your debtors very well, those that you supply your sales very well. At the end of the day, the very best metric that you can use to find out whether you are being successful is the liquidity, because it is the liquidity that shows that how good you are performing. Most of the time, you find out that people will make profit, but the profit in the are only in the books, but that does not reflect the cash that they need to support the business grow. So it is very important that everybody who is in business, you would have to take notice of how you manage your sales. You see, usually those that are in cash sales don't have any problem because you sell your goods on cash basis. So all your profitability measurements would either be value that you have, because at the end of the day, the value of stock that you have is still with you. And whatever you sell out is what comes back to you in the form of either cash or in debt. So if you are able to manage your stock very well, you are able to manage your sales very well, you are able to manage your debtors very well, you are able to manage your suppliers, creditors very well. At the end of the day, your working capital management will be very good, and that is the secret of actually handling business. Some of the businesses will end up collapsing when they have a very poor working capital.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, it is
Wow.
the working capital that actually, if you always have negative working capital, that tells you that your business is actually heading on the very wrong direction.
And
And
this brings
you would
us
have
to
to,
the next question that we are going to tackle. So basically, how do you think poor financial management system affect business growth, even if the product or service is good?
yes, you can have a very good product or service, but if you do not manage your finances very well, you will end up collapsing the business or actually incurring a lot of debt, because finance management will basically, if you are producing it yourself, you would have to understand that you manage your finances such that you would have high liquidity, so that it is the high liquidity that would prove that you are making progress, because you are in business to make profit, and the profit must be in the form of cash, not in the form of debt. If it remain in the debt, and some of it happens that, assuming you have a customer that you are supplying to, your goods is very well, you are selling it very well, you are selling it out to so many people, and the people are not able to pay. You decided to give them so much tax that even paying becomes difficult. So you have to weigh and understand that your material will be good, your service could be good, but if you do not weigh how you deal with your customers very well, and how you deal with your suppliers very well, and how you manage your stock very well, at the end of the day, all of it will be in vain. You will end up incurring a lot of losses, and which some will even go to the extent of borrowing in order to beef up their business. And
Wow.
can you imagine starting your business with borrowing? Already, you did not do a lot of essential calculations to understand how much you make. You go in for a loan. The burden of paying the loan alone, which is the interest payment alone, can suffocate your business, because at the inception stage, when you decide to go for a loan, it is only when you realize that you can make so much to be able to handle the interest payment in time. That is where that is worth you going out for a loan.
Which often
So your
is not
goods or service
guaranteed.
it's never guaranteed at all. It's
Yeah.
never guaranteed. So you can borrow and start a business, but before you realize, you end up using all the money that you have in the business to pay for the loan, and you have nothing left. So which means every time you would have to be going, you have to depend on loan, which is not good. So at the end of the day, it is your management, your financial management skills that you bring to bear that will help you to understand that what I'm doing now with my finances is actually bringing in good reward in the form of liquidity. I keep on stressing on liquidity because it is the most important thing that actually supports your business. Because if your business does not have liquid funds to be able to move on, everything that you do at the end of the day would bring about troubles for you. So it is important, even if your goods are moving, people are buying, you have to understand how you manage your finances such that you don't end up having problems with your business.
So, and this brings us to the next question. Will you advise small business owners who are on budget? You know, starting out a business comes with tons of challenges, especially in the beginning stage. And you rightly stated that you shouldn't go for loan because you don't know the fate of that business. So, what is your take on small businesses starting out getting the service of a full-time or part-time accountant, which will require extra fee?
Actually, what happens is that the service, you need to plan in the first place whatever you want to do. And you need to understand the industry that you are operating in. You see, some people find themselves in an environment where what they are selling is seasonal. So can you imagine if you do not understand where you are going, you did not speak to anybody. In the first place, you need to plan first. The planning is, I know, let's say I'm dealing with raincoats, and raincoats move more in the rainy seasons. And I plan that I want to sell, let's say, 1,000 pieces of raincoats within a year, or let's say 2,000 pieces of raincoats within a year. And it only rains in some part of the year, and that is where those raining coats will have demand. So you plan that I want to buy 2,000 pieces of raincoats. Then you pump in your money to buy all of these things, and you come and put them there, and it didn't finish. You end up locking up your funds, and the sales too couldn't go through as you plan. So you need to speak to somebody. This is what I have in mind, and the person would advise you, okay, if this is what you want to do, let's say, do you add something that goes with raincoats? Probably, let's say, umbrellas, because they move together.
Funny enough, the scenario you just cited reminds me of what happened during the COVID era. You remember those times when tons of businesses who ordinarily are into different business activities ended up venturing into buying nose masks and face masks, and thousands of businesses collapsed during that time. Was those who started in the inception stage of that were able to realize something as a profit. So this reminds me perfectly on how business plan is very, very important, especially when starting when in business. Yeah. Kindly continue.
Yes. So you, after having your business plan, the business plan will tell you what you are supposed to do, how you are going to do it, and who are your target customers. And with this, you would understand that, okay, I want to start a business, and this business, my target customers are from this place. So this is the amount of money I am required to buy whatever to invest into whatever I want to do. So by doing so, it saves you the time and the resources of making a mistake of committing a lot into where you are not supposed to commit resources into.
Yeah.
Because as I was giving you an example of saying in the raining season, you want to sell, you want to venture into raincoats, and you decided that, okay, I will pump all my money into raincoats. And at the end of the day, if the raining season comes, you are not able to sell all your goods. Remember, your funds will be locked. And when your
Yeah.
funds locked, some can even end up, even if not damaging or expiring or becoming obsolete. Because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, when the market finds out something better than what you already have, it delays and you couldn't sell. Something new comes out. People will always go for the new things and forget about the past, those ones that are obsolete. So it's
And before you
always
realize, you
important
are out
that
of business.
you are out of business
Yeah.
because you didn't plan very well. So
Yeah.
planning at the inception stage of businesses is something which is very, very crucial and necessary.
Yeah.
And when you understand that you plan your business very well, it will tell you the market to venture and who are your target customers. How can you reach out to them? That is the marketing. So everything will be in your business plan because you have planned to do it like that. So at the end of the day, you do at the end when you commit yourself in it, you do comparing to what you have planned. So when you compare with what you have planned, the actual against the plan, then it becomes, you find out whether there are variances. So this brings us to what we call the variance analysis. This analysis would help you understand that whether the decisions that you are taking, assuming, let's say, you decided that I always want to be using the raincoat business system. So assuming you plan that you want to sell 1,000 throughout the season, and it ends up that you have more markets, so you happen to go for more, and they said that is favorable for you.
Yeah.
But if it is adverse, where you couldn't sell, let's say you sold 1,000 of it, once you move along, you are able to compare on monthly basis. I plan that I want to sell 500 every month, or let's say 200 every month. But why is it not moving? Is it the place that I am advertising my goods, or it is the market where I am selling? Then this prompts you to whether you have to change a place of sales. You have to look for another market to sell your goods. Because if you happen to be at one place and nobody is reaching out to you, the only people that meet you there are the people that are around, then you realize that, okay, I probably have to go digital. I have to
Yeah.
go digital. When I go digital, assuming the population, let's say you want to target WhatsApp customers,
Yeah.
there are millions of people that are using WhatsApp. So the
Yeah.
marketing strategy would help you to reach out to millions of people on WhatsApp. Or you want to say
Yeah. Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
then your
Yeah. Yeah.
marketing strategy will also push you to use Facebook. So at the end of the day, you realize that whilst comparing your plan to what you are doing, it informs you on the next step to take,
Yeah.
and
And
you are
all this
able
and all
awake.
this and all this will be possible by getting an accountant who understands the kind of business, or who will sit you down to analyze everything that you need to take into consideration. Right?
Exactly. You see, as we said, you see, initially,
Yeah.
uh, we talked about the business plan, and we were raising a point of how costly it would be to hire a service of somebody to get that for you.
Yeah.
Using a business plan, I don't think is that much costly. Business plan are not that costly.
Yeah.
Something, because if indeed, you see, it is part of your business course. You have to understand that if I mean business, then I have to be prepared
Yeah.
and ensure that I will commit myself to doing business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the plan would help you to understand what you are in, where you are going, how you get to wherever you want to do. So whilst going there to in the process of your activity, then it comes out about how you're able to manage your finances very well. As we said earlier about your working capital management, which is
Yeah.
also necessary. Whilst we move
Yeah.
along, you consider your working capital management, and you consider your profitability and liquidity very well. And all of these things would be relevant if you are able to speak to somebody who can give you a guidance on how to go about it. Even
Very
if you
true.
don't know how to go about it, now there are so many ways you can get information. Even when you go to Google, you want to understand, you go to YouTube, you want to understand some basics. Instead of
Yeah.
you doing it without having any kind of knowledge, it's important that you seek knowledge on how to do those things than to venture into it and to realize that you have wasted your time and resources and you want to move out again.
And this brings us to the next question. Very, very important. So, Mr. Anyas, could you share with us a few useful Excel formulas or templates that you think will make your financial tracking easier for a small business owner?
Yes, it is. As for Excel, is one of the 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 tools that has been used from time memorial to keep records and also financial transaction. So Excel has been very helpful for a very long time before the inception of so many accounting softwares that actually, even with the inception of the accounting software, small businesses that are not able to afford these softwares would manage with Excel, and which is still very important because you did talk about Excel formulas. There are so many formulas, and the basics ones that anybody can use to, especially when it comes to using your keeping records that has to do with sum if formula, which is the popular ones that can be used. The sum if would actually help you to be able to sum the specific amount that you want to do, whether it has to do with your sales, whether it has to do with your purchases, whether you have to do with your stock, whether it has to do with your cash. So at the end of the day, it will help you to be able to keep a very nice account, because you need to prepare your sales. At the end of the day, you get the total of your sales, which at the end of the month, it will give you the entire sales that you have made. Then you move to your, let's say, your stock. The stock, you buy some from your suppliers and you sell some to your customers. So at the end of the day, using plus and add to your Excel, would be able to get how much you have sold out and how much it is remaining. So at the end of the day, your closing stock, when you combine it with your addition and the subtraction together with the sum if formula, you'll be able to get your closing stock, which is very, very useful for you. And you also have to prepare your income statement. Your income statement is what you use to find out how much you have earned, taking out all your expenditure from it to see whether you are making profit or you are making loss. So this with Excel, the revenue that you have earned from your sales will become your revenue that you use to match against your expenditure that you have made during the period. So when you match with it, whatever you have remaining will be, whether if you have a positive outcome, it means you are making profit. And if you have a negative outcome, at the end of the day, when you deduct your expenses from your revenue, when you have positive outcome, it means you are making profit. But if it is negative, it means you are making a loss. Then you move to financial position, which is popularly known as the balance sheet. The balance sheet will be the same. You can link the cells from one sheet to the other to be able to establish to add your profitability to your capital, and also calculate for your closing stock, which we talked about earlier, which will be part of your balance sheet. And you also have your cash. At the end of the day, whatever expenses that your cash book balance would also have to appear there, whether it is bank or whether it is cash. At the end of the day, it has to be part of your balance sheet. So you match your capital must be equal to your assets plus your liability. It must match up together to balance your balance sheet. And ending with it, you can also prepare your cash flow statement, which is very, very important, because the cash flow statement balance that you get will be what you have into your balance sheet as your cash balance or bank balance. So matching your operational activity, you'll be able to understand whether your operations, you have excess net cash flow from operating, or when you have negative cash flow from operating activity. Then you match it. You also match your investing activity, your financing activity. So at the end of the day, your financing activity, net financing activity, net operational activity, and net investing activity should be equal to your cash and cash equivalent at the end of the when you
Wow.
have a prior cash at the beginning, when you match it together with this, you should be able to establish your cash and cash equivalent at the end of a period. So when
Okay.
with the use of Excel, you'll be able to do this on monthly basis. You'll be able
Wow.
to establish all of this without even going for, when you think software will be very difficult for you to be able to get. But
Wow.
always speak to the tech people who are into it. They can give you a very appropriate advice on how to go. If the Excel is enough for you, you can choose the Excel. But if they can create something which is more affordable for you, I will advise that you go in for something which is more affordable in the form of system that will suit your operational activity. It
Wow.
is always necessary to be able to understand this, because it will help you very well in your business.
Yeah, it will help you very well in your business. And in your experience, Mr. Anyas, businesses will often make mistakes. And that is why we have accountants who have expertise in such industry to be able to keep track and put the businesses in line. So, in your experience, what are some of the most common mistakes that you think business owners are making, especially when trying to use Excel in managing their finances?
Yes, Excel has a limitation, because Excel has a limitation in its usage. The limitation is when you don't have a very experienced person to be able to manage the Excel for you. The limitations, the mistakes that they make will be carried out through all your reports. And at the end of the day, your final results will be having defects. So
Wow.
the limitation of Excel is, I told you that you would have to use some formulas, and these formulas are used on each Excel in a cell. And this cell, when you are going to copy it, assuming let's say you have one for this month, and the next month you need to copy this same formula to be able to get the next month's information into it. So what happens is that if there's a mix up in copying from one sheet to the other, automatically you have tampered with the formula, and which would render all your work will carry throughout all the mistakes. That I remember there was this project that one was working on, and he was using Excel as his entry as his software. So they make a mistake in one of the Excel, and it's copied throughout the entire report. So can you imagine if this has been done, let's say last year, and you do your report monthly, and you verify that you understand that there is a problem, there is some mismatch, and you went back, you would have to go back till the period where the thing has been committed
tedious.
to correct it before you come back to your current working. And what it means is that by then the mistake might have carried out throughout all the reports of the subsequent ones that you have done.
Yeah,
So the
especially
limitation
if you've already made some decisions along the line, that means everything has
using those
been,
figures,
yeah,
you use those figures to, of course, the reason for doing all of that is to help you take decision,
yeah,
and you base on those things to take decision. And if there's a mistake through it, then you might have carried it throughout. So
yeah,
Excel is good, but it needs some sort of expertise to be able to keep it, because it is the original. Some of the even softwares that you use link up their information to Excel. But
yeah,
what happens is that it is the Excel. If you are operating Excel and you either automate them using the macros or the formulas. So
yeah,
automation, you can use the macros. It is the use of the macros, the process that you use in entering the data. You record it, and anytime you enter it automatically, it will do it for you instead of going through at the same process. That is the
yeah,
macros.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the formulas, when you keep in the formulas, the moment you do automatically, the formulas also keep on adding up and doing the subtraction for you, the linkage of
yeah,
the cells and the formulas together. So at the end of the day, it's very necessary to understand that you'll be able to track what you are doing very well to ensure that whatever information you are inputting is the right thing. Because one
yeah,
mistake will carry out through all the Excel this thing, and which is not good for you, because your
yeah,
opening balances will be affected in the subsequent months that you are working with your reports. But
yeah,
using
yeah,
comparing
yeah,
it to
Mr.
a
Anyas.
software.
Yeah, Mr. Anyas. So now we understood some of the common mistakes that businesses are making, especially the limitations when it comes to using Excel. Mr. Anyas has made it emphatically clear to us that you need some little bit of experience or expertise before you can be able to harness this. And he went ahead to even cite some clear scenarios in the past on what has happened to one person who was using Excel in keeping track of his expenses. And the question is, now we want to transform to AI. Now we want to talk about AI. And I want us to look at how can AI tools like ChatGPT, Excel Copilot, Cloud, Google Gemini help small business owners in their financial management.
Yes, the financial management. You see, the beauty of the AI is that uh, when you have your Excel, you'll be able to, let's say, input some formulas to be able to get some analysis. You can analyze your data using Excel to give you the past information. Assuming, let's say, you want to you want to find out the trend on your sales. So the trend of the sales, when you apply an Excel formula, you'll be able to understand the trend of your sales. You can also use it to compare your business with the industry using Excel. But the beauty of using AI is that whilst you use that, the AI can give you both the past and even give you what we call the predictive analysis, which is something which is very new, which is not common to the financial this until the inception of the AI. Initially, what people can do based on the past information, they can tell you that okay, this is a trend, and if that is a trend, this is the probability of what will happen. People will use the trend analysis to be able to tell you that this is what will happen. But with the inception of AI, it combines both the historical data and also based on that to tell you what would the future holds for you. Assuming, let's say you sell goods, and you predicted that every month, in some month, this is how much you sell, this is how much you make in every month. Then you ask AI to analyze and show how much you make in the subsequent months or years ahead. The AI will be able to analyze the information from the past and also predict how much you can make from the past information. So that is the beauty of AI, because in the past it has to take the somebody who is experienced in financial analysis to tell you that once you have this kind of trend, so this is the possibility of what will happen in the future. The AI is now able to do it very well and even add the predictive one, which is usually for the experts in financial sector. Usually, it's the expert that predicts and tell you based on what has happened. I can tell you that this is what is coming. So now has made such information common to businesses, that is the beauty of having AI now. Aside using it to analyze your information to take decision, this information when you analyze, definitely it will help you to take decision. You predict, it gives you the predictive analysis of saying that this is how much you are supposed to sell. Then it will inform you how much the provisions to make to meet that kind of demand for the future. So,
and that brings me to our next question. Do you see AI having the potential of handling in some of the repetitive tasks? Can you use AI to automate some of them?
Sure. Some of the daily works that you do, you use AI. You can use AI. It's possible that you can use AI, ask AI, give AI details of what you do on daily basis, and ask AI to automate this system for you. Previously, you need an advice from somebody who is highly in tech to be able to tell you that, okay, if you are doing this in this, you have to go into the codes. It is these codes that would advise on this. But now,
very important.
AI can just look at what you do on daily basis and automate a system for you to suit the very particular work that you are doing. So that what it means is that instead of you going for a software, AI is capable of automating your work for you. With the work of an expert, you should be able to automate your work using the AI so that it will be very easy for you to suit your own way of doing things instead of going out to look for the general ones, because most of the times what you get outside is the general system. But the suitable one, the one that will suit your own let's say environment, your country, with the use of AI, you can be able to automate this and make your work very easy. So AI is here to actually make things easier for businesses.
So that brings me to our next question. There are some debates around how AI is going to take over some people's job. And people, professionals in different diverse areas are kind of skeptical, and there was some heated debate on how this is happening. For tech space, actually this is happening to some of the junior tech roles. AI is now in the heat, and we are in the current pace at which agentic AI is going. It's replacing most of the junior DevOps in the industry. Now, the question that I want to find out is, should AI be seen as a potential threat in replacing an accountant in an industry, or it should be seen as a support system to the accountant?
Yes, AI is actually a tool that will enhance work. The work that you are supposed to do, even using your software, that it has to the time and the speed with which you want to do the work. When you employ AI, you'll be able to do it within few. You will reduce the time, and the accuracy level is also very high. So it is incumbent on everybody who is in the industry to understand that AI is here to stay with us. It is only when we understand this that we would also have to learn AI and learn how to use it properly. Because if you think it is coming for you, then you fold your arms. Then by the time you realize, those that are those that have studied AI, those that take the trouble to learn AI will be way ahead of you. So it's a matter of inculcating AI into our curricula. I realized that there are some universities here in Ghana that are bringing up AI as part of their core subjects to study by all students. Whether you like it or not, you would have to study AI. So the beauty of it is that they understand that the future will be completely taken by the AI, because even those that brought the AI didn't understand how the speed with which AI is
It's
moving.
moving, yeah.
In fact, they never anticipated that AI can move with this speed.
Yeah.
So it is time everybody understand that it is here to stay with us, and it is for our own good that we learn how to use AI in our daily work, so that it would, because if you are an expert, you add AI to AI becomes a tool of making your work easier, but not actually taking you out of work. Because if you give AI to somebody who is not an accountant, the person can do his own thing, but how does he use the information from AI to make it professional? So it has to take somebody who is professional and who understands the way to go about it, to use AI so that you will get the professional information as it is required. Because when you say AI is here to take your job, that is only when you fold your arms.
Yeah.
As you rightly pointed out, the junior, the AI agent is now taking the junior work,
Yeah.
and it is true. It is true. But some are also saying that you would need to combine. You need somebody who even understands the AI agent, so that when you employ the AI agents, somebody is behind
Yeah.
actually giving a lot of information to it to make it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So it's rather an opportunity that is awaiting instead
Yeah.
of a threat. A
Yeah.
threat to somebody who feels that they cannot upgrade themselves to
They
match
can't
up
upgrade
with
themselves.
what is
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
who wants to go for it will see
Yeah.
it as an opportunity. So the
Yeah.
opportunity is those who embrace the change will see it as an opportunity. Those who see it as a threat will forgo it, and it will wipe them out of the system with time.
Yeah. Yeah. So to our next question is, how can someone use AI to analyze his spending trends, especially when, or to detect the cash flow issues before they even happen? Because In the beginning part of our conversation, you keep emphasizing emphatically on the importance of having cash flow. And do you see AI as a tool that you can use in tracking all these things?
Sure, it's possible. You can use AI to analyze your data, to understand your liquidity, and to also even forecast. You can use AI to forecast, yes, based on the past information. What you just have to do is that the history of your records, that you have to put it together. When you put it together, then you ask AI based on this information that you have given it. It should give you either you analyze it and give you your cash flow. It can predict your cash flow based on what it has seen. So you ask it to analyze and predict how much it thinks when you are able to maintain the momentum of your business, how much how the AI thinks you fare with your liquidity in the future. It can predict to the month that even if you want it to do annual prediction for you, it can predict for you as if only you give it appropriate prompt to give you the very good information that you want. So it's about understanding the kind of prompt to give, the how to input the information, and also the question to ask AI to give you. Because if you give it weak information, it will give the outcome will also be weak.
Very
But
true.
if you understand that, you would have to give it a very deep information and ask it to do a work of an expert
Yeah.
to give you analyze the data and also predict based on the data how your liquidity will be. You will be amazed of on what you will see at the end of the day, because AI would do a marvelous work for you. But you don't have to be mindful of the exposure that you have. Business information, when you expose it into AI, you quickly have to find a way of taking it out so that it doesn't
Yeah.
remain there. Because
Yeah.
there are people that that is one risky aspect of the AI. Somebody can just sit in his own comfort place and track your information with AI. By the time you realize they are getting some pieces of information from you. So you have to
Very
understand
true.
that, yeah, when you want to do that, it's either you take off your business names out of the information that you feed the AI, so that
Yeah.
even if somebody is getting it, it is not specific to you, because you have taken that information that makes it yours. So
Yeah.
make the information as if it is not your personal information.
Yeah.
Ask AI to do the work. So at the end of the day, in your analysis, in your entry, you also edit it to suit your best, the kind of information you want. So the exposure is something we would have to be mindful of as the AI industry is evolving. People are also taking advantage of it and
Yeah.
tapping a lot of information. So in order not to risk the exposure, you would have to take it. You have to do it with caution. If
Yeah.
not, that you end up giving out your data to somebody out there.
Yeah. So very, very important. And we are very, very much grateful for the insight that you kept on giving and always showing up to the channel when we try to call on you. I hope our viewers are also enjoying this session. And in the course of time, if you have any question, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Maybe we might feature it in our next session. And if time permits us, we could also feature it in this same session. So feel free to leave any question that you have in the comment section, and it will be addressed. So I want to ask our guest who is here. But before I ask him the next question, as you already seen, he has kept on giving us value. And to some of you who are watching us, you have a tailor-made problems to your businesses. It can be your business, it can be your own personal finances, it can be any other aspect of your life. If you see any relation to this topic that we are covering, to your own personal life and you want some clarification, the email address to our guest is in the video description. You can always contact him and he is ready to assist you. So feel free to check out in the video description for his email address. Now back to our guest, who is the chartered accountant, and he is giving us an insight on this topic. We want to now find out, how do you see AI-powered tools, particularly the financial tools, can help SMEs to scale up their businesses? Do you see there is the probability that SMEs will be able to use these tools to scale up?
Yes, yes. SMEs, those that are already in there, are using it very well. Those that understand how to use AI are using it very well, because when you are into business and you ask AI, giving it the appropriate prompt, telling it probably, let's say, your area of operation, your country. When you mention your country, you would want AI to advise you on how to go about your business, seeking specific information and how to go about it. When you enter into AI, definitely it will give you some resourceful information on how to go about your business. So for scaling up, it is even people are using it already, and it is a matter of those who don't understand to also pick up to join the bus,
Yeah.
because somebody who would want to use AI to scale up the business would have to give it the appropriate prompt and ask it to advise him, and even go ahead to tell him the best decisions to take
Yeah.
based on what is happening, the best
Yeah.
decision to take to be able to reach your goals that you are looking in your business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And not to
AI
cut you short.
is
Actually, not to cut you short. Uh, some of even the repetitive tasks that you find out AI can easily handle it, you can just give the AI those kind of tasks to be handling once you pay attention to the bigger picture and to become more innovative and to try to venture into other aspects of your business. And I'm just adding up to what you are already making. Yeah.
yeah. So it's very very important that you do not say AI is not helpful unless you go into, when you understand the value you can get from AI, you quickly join and start using AI to help scale up your business, because the world is now moving in the direction. The AI is taking the world to a direction with some high speed,
Yeah.
and it is the matter of time that people that who are using AI will see themselves somewhere, and those that
Yeah.
think is not necessary would also find themselves somewhere. So
Yeah.
it's if you want to grow, you want to scale up your business, you want to innovate, you want to, anything you want to do,
Yeah.
find a time, ask AI to advise you on how to go about it.
Yeah.
Implement whatever AI gives you. If you think it is of some sort of scrappy for you, probably you would have
Yeah.
to get an advice from somebody.
Yeah.
This is what I am doing. How do you think I can go about it? Is it possible I can reach my target with this information? Then
Yeah.
speak to somebody about what you've gotten, and
Yeah.
begin to implement. And by the time you realize, you'll be heading somewhere very grateful.
Yeah. By the time you realize, you'll be heading somewhere very grateful. And we are about to draw the curtains, but I will be asking my guest some. Should I give him two more questions or I should let him rest? So let me find out from our guest. Do you need a rest or actually ask you more questions? Because the questions will keep on coming if care is not taken, and we don't want to stress our guest. He has to rest. We Anytime you have any question, in the course of time, our viewers, you can always leave it in the comment section so that some of this topic can be tailored made to your questions, and your question might be featured in our next series exclusively. This is a series that we are going to keep on giving you value, keep on showing up and helping fellow viewers and fellow audience across the globe who want to manage their business, who have some kind of personal financial issues, and they want some best decisions to be making in their life. So we are always here and ready to assist you. So I want to find out from my guest, maybe this might be the last question, but depending on how he approaches it, it can bring another question. So what do you think is the best way to transition your financial data from Excel to other accounting platforms safely? Maybe those who are already using Excel and they are thinking on how to move their data from Excel to other platforms.
Yes, that's a nice one, because migrating from Excel to other platform, because you would have to see those for you,
Hello,
because this
hello, Mr.
software.
Anyas. Can you take that again?
Yes.
The network was glitchy.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes. You would have to seek advice on which of the available softwares that will be helpful, because some majority of it comes with some cost, and as a small business you need to have the one that will best suit whatever you would want to do, because some people will say that I would want a software that I can have every information on my phone,
Yeah.
not necessarily being at or on the premises of my business. So everything
Yeah.
that is going on there, I should be able to track it on my phone. So you
Yeah.
see, this would also will also take you to the kind of software that it is, because not all the softwares that you can have those functions.
Yeah.
So there are some first software that are web-based, which is online-based. Whatever is entered, you can see it across the globe wherever you are. You don't need to be physically on the ground before you be able to check what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the information, that is what you want, then there are softwares that can readily serve you. And some too are completely offline. Okay, time to time, every week I can visit. I'll be around. I'm around, so there is no need for me to put the information, to be tracking the information on my phone whilst I am around.
Mm.
So that too will also inform the kind of software you need. An offline software that it is stationed at one place. Probably have your computers that you can share among them. Then anytime they do anything, you can go into the software to find out what is happening. You can
Yeah.
track whatever is happening when you also have one. So transition from Excel would also inform what kind of information, or how you would want to monitor your business,
Yeah.
and that will inform which
The
of the
kind of
software
software.
to go for, in
Yeah.
order to be able to operate your business very well. So speaking with
Yeah.
tech people too, because they can also develop some
Some
best
tailored-made
suit,
software that will
this
suit your
tailored made, yes,
business.
for you. That will be either the mix of the two,
Yeah.
because those ones that I was talking about earlier are those ones that are in the market. But when you
Yeah.
speak to the tech people, they can give you something that have both function.
Yeah.
Even those ones that have, yes, that is tailor made for you. So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you can go off to the premises to check it, or wherever you are in the world, you can still track whatever is happening, because it's very,
Yeah.
very important. Some people will say that at the end of the day, I'm not able to track what is happening. But
Yeah.
if you have a very good software, you should be able to track, not necessarily going to the premises to understand what is happening. You can be
Very
working somewhere, you
important.
can be doing your own thing, and at the same time tracking your business. And
Yeah.
you can even preview to see how much you are making on
Yeah.
daily basis without even visiting the premises. So
Yeah.
when you think of what you want to do, then you go for the one which best suits your needs.
Yeah, very important. I'm very much happy to have you here. Finally, I would like you to help our viewers how they can connect with you and learn more about your work. Can you just share it with us?
Of course, as you rightly said earlier, you will leave my email address into you will leave my email address around, and whoever wants to speak with me and whoever wants to have any sort of interaction with me, you communicate through the email address, and we pick it from there. Whatever kind of advice you want, or kind of education, whatever kind of help you want, when you reach out, we'll be able to see how best we can also help you deal with the problems on your way. Whether it's tax issue, whether it's finance, whether it's accounting, anything you are doing and you think you need an advice based on what you've heard so far. So you reach out and we see best how we can best help you deal with the problem that comes on your way.
Well, to our audience, nice time having with our guest today, and we hope you also learned one or two things on how you can use Excel together with AI to manage your small businesses efficiently. Kindly make a time with us at the same time next week so we can be keep on giving you value, and we'll keep on adding more information that you need. And in the course of time, if you have any question, you can also leave it in the comment section, so we will address it in subsequent series. Your question might feature exclusively in our next episode. So we are here in this segment to speak to a chartered accountant whose area of specialty is in business and anything that has to do with accounting, tax, and everything, as he has rightly stated it. And if you want to connect with him or learn more about his work, his email address is in the comment section. Feel free to check it out in the video description. So see you again at that time.